Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Sports Hub.
It's a Southern steam bath at Turner Field in Atlanta, where today the Braves look for a 3-game sweep over the Toronto Blue Jays and, by the way, a winning homestand. And all year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, and the low price. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip with you at the ballpark. Let's see if Atlanta can finish off a sweep before we hit the road to San Diego and Seattle. But before that can take place, a couple of familiar faces work on the mounds in Game 3.
They actually both make returns to Turner Field, Chip, and when you think about Brandon Beachy, the Braves have really missed him. He got off to a good start. He's pitching great baseball, but then on May 13th, he strained an oblique muscle when he was swinging the bat at the plate against the Phillies, and he hasn't pitched since, but he's back in there today. And JoJo Reyes, a former second-round pick of the Braves, who really struggled trying to find his way as an Atlanta Brave, got traded to Toronto last year. He seems to have found himself and found a home in Toronto. He's been pitching great baseball, and he'll try to extend the problems the Braves have had against left-handed pitching again today.
But the Braves have been able to play long ball in this series, and Toronto, like Atlanta, really struggling at times to score runs, a trend we hope continues in Game 3. Atlanta looks for a series sweep. First pitch, starting lineups from Turner Field coming right up. By Academy Sports. To you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, by Checkers, and by Ford. Well, that piece of real estate here at Turner Field might be one of the most popular we see all day. It's a hot, sultry afternoon for baseball. And speaking of hot, so are the Braves. They try to finish off a sweep of this Toronto ball club and finish up this homestand, Joe, with a winning record.
After the way it started against the Mets and losing 2 out of 3 to them,
and then losing 2 out of 3 the first 2 games to the Rangers. It didn't bode well for the end of this homestand, but they've come on strong. Braves cracked out 5 runs and 10 hits in the first 4 innings yesterday, Chip. So let's hope that continues. Some early runs, and they give Brandon Beachy a little room to work in his return.
And put a little pressure on a Toronto offense that has really struggled for their skipper, John Farrell, and especially of late. The Jays 8.5 games off the lead in the American League East. They've lost their last 3 games and now find themselves below 500 at 36 and 38 for the year. Here's how they'll line up for Game 3 today. Again, with interleague play in a National League park, we play with National League rules. That means former Brave Jojo Reyes will bat 9th. Former Brave Yunel Escobar has thrived in the leadoff spot. And Jose Bautista, all that home run potential, the Braves so far, knock on wood, Joe, have kept him in check in the series.
Yeah, he's 0 for 8. And when you consider that Bautista has not reached base in either one of these first 2 games, and he had reached in 61 of the first 64 he had played in this year, that's pretty good work. Those are our Suzuki starting lineup for the Blue Jays, and they'll go against Brandon Beachy this afternoon, who's 1-1, a 3.45 ERA. He got hurt on May 13th against the Philadelphia Phillies. He strained his left oblique when he was swinging the bat. So he's been out for a while, and the Braves have missed him, especially because he was pitching so good at the time he got hurt. His 4 keys to pitching success include his return. He did have 1 rehab assignment at Gwinnett, but don't go out and overthrow. You know he's going to have his adrenaline pumping, and it is a warm day, but don't go out there and overthrow the first inning, because the first inning blues have happened to him like several other Braves pitchers. Of the 18 runs he's allowed this year, 7 have come in the first inning. So get off to a good start today.
Here's how the Braves line up defensively behind Brandon Beachy today. McLeod, Schaefer, and Hayward from left to right. And the newest member of the ball club, Julio Lugo, makes his Braves debut. He'll play shortstop. And on this hot afternoon, Brian McCann back in the lineup for Brandon Beachy. Lugo, an important guy for this roster. Alex Gonzalez has really been an Iron Man at shortstop.
He's played virtually every inning of every game. So Julio has some veteran experience that will add greatly to the bench for Freddie Gonzalez, where he can rest Alex Gonzalez on occasion.
Here's a look at the umpiring crew for Game 3. Chad Fairchild with the ball and strike calls today. Joe West, Angel Hernandez, and Angel Campos around the horn. Here's Escobar to start things off for Toronto. Ah! 88 degrees, the official game time temperature, but very humid. Thunder showers expected later in the day.
Beachy's fastball, 92 to 94. He's got a good over-the-top curveball and a changeup. Might have hung that first breaking ball there. But again, try not to overthrow. Pitched great in his rehab assignment, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. I asked him about those numbers. I said, I saw the numbers. They were good. He said, I felt even better than that.
Line drive over second. And Yunel Escobar with that right center field stroke leads off with a single in the first inning.
Can never contain the enthusiasm Yunel Escobar has for playing this game. Good swing, and then down the line he starts clapping. A good start for his club.
And 5, as I'm sure you talked about the last couple of days, the most appropriate number for Escobar. New contract.
Mm-hmm.
$5 million a year for the next 2 seasons up in Toronto.
And option years for the club after that, at each at $5 million a year, which I thought was a pretty good bargain for the ball club. A good contract.
Corey Patterson, former Cub, former Oriole. He's been around for quite a while, has the Atlanta native.
Yeah, it showed bunt on the first pitch, so they may play some small ball and play for a run early.
You can understand why they might think about that. They have not had a good road trip. I mean, this has been a real struggle for Toronto offensively. They're getting good pitching, but they have not scored many runs. And that script might sound kind of familiar to Braves fans. Escobar's running, and that pitch skips off the plate, off McCann, and ends up in the stands. And it'll be a stolen base for Escobar.
Did this hit the plate? No, my goodness, that hit a good 3 feet in front of the plate. No chance for McCann. Coming up, getting ready to throw.
Two balls, two strikes.
It's just the middle of this road trip, too, for Toronto. They did win 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati. They go to St. Louis from here, have 3 games with the Cardinals, and then before they go home, they've got to stop in Detroit and play a game as a rainout makeup.
Fouled away for a 2-2 count. That's the hole in Corey Patterson's game. He will strike out. And Beachy gets him for the first out in today's game.
He's hit over 100 home runs in his career, but he's always fancied himself as a power guy, and I think that's why with that big swing you can exploit it a little bit, especially upstairs.
That's his 54th strikeout of the season for Toronto. And now Batista bats. Not surprising, partner, that Toronto's offensive struggles might mirror those of Batista.
Still hitting .325, though. Braves have contained him to this point.
He really is one of the great stories in baseball, too. This is a man that prior to last year had 59 lifetime homers. He hit 54 last season alone. Good stop by McCann.
Yeah, that's a big play to keep Escobar from advancing to third base where he could score on a fly ball or a ground out. Jose Bautista, a Deadpool hitter. He almost hit one out to straightaway left last night. But consider this, 54 homers last year, and the only one he hit to the opposite field was the last one he hit. Yes, he did.
Joe West disagrees with you. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Okay. I was overthrowing there myself.
Over umpiring, too. Come on, it's early.
Yeah.
Second strikeout for Beachy and a big second out. Yes, Batista.
How about there? Did he go? Good breaking ball. First strikeout of the day, and at a very opportune time.
Here's Adam Lind, 27-year-old kid out of Muncie, Indiana. pride of the University of South Alabama.
He's a good player, I know that. He was on the disabled list for a couple of weeks. Had some lower back issues.
Well, he certainly brings a different dimension to Toronto's first base. Lyle Overbay is really a great glove guy with not nearly the power that Lind has. This man hit 35 homers 2 years ago.
Yeah, very good fastball hitter, and let's see what Beachy does here. 0-2. He's throwing hard. 93 on that one. It's already a good month with a week to go.
And Beachy strikes out the side after giving up a leadoff hit to Escobar. Welcome back, Brandon. Nothing doing for Toronto in the top of the first. The Braves take a look at JoJo Reyes when we come right back. Braves have won 3 in a row. Freddie Gonzalez has another Suzuki starting lineup to feature today. Jordan Schaefer, Jason Hayward, Chipper Jones back for the second consecutive game. Brian McCann is hotter than a what?
Dancing Bobcat.
You got it. And our first look at Julio Lugo, the shortstop. He'll bat 8th in front of Brandon Beachy.
JoJo now 26 years old, 6'2", 230 out of Riverside, California. Was a second-round pick by the Braves in 2003. He went 28 starts between wins. His keys to success. This has been a house of horrors for him when he was trying to establish himself in the big leagues. Not a good place for him to pitch. Glove side command. We'll explain that.
And a line drive by Schaefer inside the third bag fair. And the leadoff man reaches against Reyes.
Only the 4th hit for Schaefer in 28 at-bats against the left-handed pitcher. But one thing that Braves can kind of count on today on Reyes, that glove side command. One of the things that John Farrell and his pitching coach, Bruce Walton, have done for Reyes is have him work to his glove side, meaning that outside corner, outside third to left-handed hitters. That's where he has the best command. That's where he's having most of his success. Just live there. Just stay in that part of the plate. And Schaefer took that pitch the other way.
Jason Hayward bats for the first time. So as a hitter, when you scout JoJo Reyes, what is your approach at the plate?
Well, to go with the pitch. However, now you're in a situation where Jason needs to pull the ball, so it'd be a good idea to move up on the plate so that you can cover that outside corner and pull the ball and get Schaefer over to third base. But nobody moves anymore, Chip. It's like there's a magnet on everybody's shoes, and their magnet pulls their foot to the same spot for every pitcher, for every pitch count, for every situation, and nobody ever moves in the box from where they're most comfortable. They just stay in one spot for every situation.
And most of the time you see the hitter's back foot at the very back edge of the batter's box. One ball, two strikes. When did that stop? When did that?
I don't know. Maybe with the PED era when people are hitting home runs, they just got in one spot and said, here, I'm just going to stand here and wail. I don't know.
Off the plate, but foul at first.
Good try there.
Jason has a modest 3-game hit streak working. His average now over 220. It's at 223 for the season. And he strikes out. So Hayward cannot advance Schaefer. And both starters have a strikeout fest working in the first inning.
Braves' numbers against left-handed pitching are pretty abysmal. Last in the league in hitting as an average against left-handed pitching. But somehow they've managed a 12-10 record against left-handed starters with these numbers.
Not good.
No. Chipper's had a great year right-handed against lefties. He's hitting .321 against them.
Huge lead at second for Schaefer. Another step. And JoJo says enough of that.
But when you don't get that runner over for Jordan, he's got to show some patience here too. You know he wants to get to third base and show you how fast he is, swipe a base. But not with Chipper up there and with McCann on deck. You're already in scoring position. Be patient. Let them drive you in. Maybe Reyes will throw one in the dirt and you can go on a wild pitch or something. It's not worth the risk of getting thrown out. But as we go along, and there's another example of it, just watch how many times. And when we talk about glove side, let's pretend that JoJo's facing home plate with his shoulders square facing home plate. So his glove side on his right hand, that would be the inside corner to a right-handed hitter. That's where he's going to try to live today.
Got it there. And Chipper pops up to second. Hill drifting back, had a little trouble, and makes the play for out number 2. There is a little bit of a breeze, and looking above the chop house, the flags show the ball will be blown toward right center.
Nice save there by Hill.
Let's see if Brian McCann can continue to hit the Georgia Lottery jackpot.
Last 20 games, 16 RBIs and 8 homers. And with his homer last night, home runs in 6 of his last 13 games. That is hitting the jackpot.
can this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's hitting .400. That gives you hope. Close play as Escobar flashed in behind Schaefer at second.
And I'm just glad Escobar caught that ball. It looked like it was headed right for Jordan Schaefer's ear.
Back to the mound, and JoJo Reyes pitches around a leadoff double. Braves cannot move Schaefer to third or to the plate, and we're scoreless at the end of 1. Georgia Lottery and by AT&T. Scoreless game at Turner Field in Atlanta. Glad you're with us wherever you might be. No score. Braves try to finish off a 3-game sweep. And our Delta on deck hitter is the man leading off for Toronto, Juan Rivera.
Pretty good numbers against Atlanta. It's his first start in this series. Had some good years in Anaheim with the Angels.
He's been on 6 playoff teams. Played in the 2003 World Series with the Yankees. World Baseball Classic with Venezuela in 2006. And you're right, he's been around a while. He's only 32 though, signed at 16. By the Yankees. That's really the bane of the Toronto franchise when you think about every year having to compete with the Yankees and Red Sox in the American League East. With the talent they've been able to put on the field in Toronto, the Jays have finished higher than third place 1 time since 1994.
It's coming around though. When Pat Gillick left, some things, changed. They weren't doing things the same way. Even Paul Beeston after he left. But now Alex Anthopoulos is there, and he is a young guy, energetic. He knows how important baseball people are throughout your organization. They're bringing some guys in as managers and coaches who know what they're doing.
There's a line drive into center by Rivera. He continues to punish the Braves. 2 straight leadoff hitters on for Toronto.
So they may be a couple of years away, and getting some of their prospects lined up to get to the big leagues. But it's going to be an up-and-coming, on-the-move organization that I think will, in the next couple of years, be up there challenging the Yankees and Red Sox.
JPR Ancibia, the catcher. 10 home runs, 34 knocked in. And he drives the ball to center. Rivera thought about tagging, but he goes nowhere. 1 out.
I could hear someone all the way up here yelling, tagging, tagging to Jordan Schaefer to let him know that Rivera might try to advance. So that's why he rifled that throw in.
Second baseman Aaron Hill bats for the first time. Years ago, Hill hit 36 homers, hit 286. Last year slumped to a 205 average, played only 138 games.
Injuries keep nagging this guy. He was the And
no play for McCann. Rivera moves up 90 feet. Wild pitch.
He was the 09 American League Comeback Player of the Year award winner. Another one off the plate.
Hill was a first-round pick in 2003. And he's got an RBI chance. Well, you look at the Braves, you look at the Jays, you almost see mirror image teams. Getting very good pitching, but very little timely hitting. Toronto averaging less than 2 runs a game on this road trip. Hill takes a walk. 2 on, 1 out for Nix.
Not Stevie Nicks, as the organist would make you think, playing Wild Wing Dove. This is Jason.
Back to the screen, strike 1. You saw Stevie Nicks this summer, did you?
Saw her this spring when she was in town with Rod Stewart. Still great.
Two.
My daughter treated me to that concert. She knew how much I love Stevie. Pretty much rocking out that night.
You didn't have the, the robes and all that stuff too, with the
scarves and things.
Yeah, no, not that far.
No, but I could have used a couple of those pastel sport coats that Rod was sporting that night.
Yeah,
yeah, he can still do it too. Outstanding.
A flinch from McCann didn't get the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
How that missed the plate. Curveballs are hard to call even for Major League umpires, especially one as good as Brandon's.
That's easy to call. A high fastball is missed.
Good up out of the zone, got him to chase it. 2 outs, but no slouch here. If you recall, JoJo Reyes, a good hitter.
He's 1 for 2 this year. Behind the count, 0-1.
He's a good guy, JoJo Reyes. It was really painful what he was going through. And he went 28 starts between wins because you pull for him.
He was very vocal in saying how supportive his teammates were, too. He was anything but a pariah for having that long, luckless string.
And it was luckless on many occasions. There were games where he got knocked around, of course, but there were a lot where he left the game with leads and the bullpen didn't hang on.
And Toronto 0 for 5 in this game with runners in scoring position. Beachy has struck them all out. He has 5 strikeouts in total, and Freddie Freeman will try to put the Braves in front when we head to the home half of the second. Our 6-game road trip starting in San Diego, and it's all here on Sports South and Fox Sports South. Of course, Fred, Brian, and Jerome will be on hand to set it all up with complete pregame coverage on Braves Live. All the fun of our West Coast trip starts Friday night, 9:30 Eastern Time, right here on Sports South.
We do have one pitching matchup so far. We know that Derek Lowe is going to go against Tim Stauffer Friday night, but the Padres have not announced their pitchers for Saturday or Sunday.
And along with the Emmy Award-winning Joe Simpson, Chip Carey.
Hey, you too, buddy. How about our whole production crew?
Yeah, it's a real honor. We picked up a regional Emmy for our coverage of Braves baseball last year, and big tip of the cap to the production crew, Joe Vencius, Bill Cochran, so many folks we should name. Couldn't have done it without them.
Gary Lehman, Mike Miller, Billy Moore, Jay Hoover,
Gretchen Caney,
Andy Pollock, all involved last year. Gretchen Caney. And I'll keep it dusted, polished. You guys come to the house and see it anytime you want.
And a special tip of the cap, too, to our pal Dave Laserbaker, who is a big part of our crew. Dave, we're thinking about you today, so guys and gals in the truck, congratulations. We are so appreciative of how much fun you make it for us. And we hope you folks at home are as proud as we are of our regional Emmy. Freddie Freeman starts it off and takes A ball low. Full count. Is Freddie breaking out of that little streak of lack of contact he was in? Starting to see a little more consistency from him.
Yeah, he's standing a little more upright. He's getting his front foot down.
And he guides that one through the hole for a leadoff hit.
His front foot was what he described as a difference maker, getting it down quicker to let his hands work. But in the process, it just kept him from really diving and falling across the plate. And he covered that outside corner as a result.
Dan Uggla bats. Dan's seen Reyes before and has had good luck against him. He's 3 for 5 lifetime. He's 1 for 8 in the series.
Not only is that glove side command, just working to that one side of the plate really helped JoJo. It's cut down on his walks, too. He's only walked 2 in his last 14 innings, where he had walked 8 in the 15 innings prior. That's a drastic improvement right there. But again, they just tried to simplify things for him and just say, here, just if you can hit this spot over here with some consistency, then let's just stay over there on that side of the plate.
That's well hit. And that one's not coming back. Ten home runs for Uggla, his 4th lifetime hit against Reyes.
First off, a left-handed pitcher this year. He had been 3 for his last 37, and you're right, Chip, that was a no-doubter. Golly, and he kept his weight in there. He didn't pull off the ball. He even stood a little more upright on that.
So the Braves strike first on a long 2-run homer for Dan Uggla. I guess the next question you have for JoJo Reyes is, can you win consistently at the major league level when you're pitching to only 1/2 of the plate with success?
I would say, I mean, until it gets around that, hey, he's going to live over there, and then it's up to you to hit it. He has a good sinking fastball. He's got a very good slider. He's always had a good slider where he can bury that slider down and in. He doesn't have to throw it for a strike every time, but to that back foot of right-handed hitters. And quite obviously, he's not going to make every pitch there, but that's a good starting point for him.
His manager is John Farrell, who for years was the pitching coach in Boston. That guy knows a thing or two about pitching and pitching mechanics. As McLeod rolls out to second. And Nate's the first out of the inning.
That almost got by Hill. Braves are 30-7 when they score first, Chip. That's always a good sign for Atlanta.
And Julio Lugo makes his Braves debut at the plate. Dan Uggla with a long homer to left center. Makes it a 2-run lead.
.270 career hitter, Julio Lugo.
Deep short. Escobar has a cannon. And Lugo beat it out. Escobar with arms raised at short. Can't believe Lugo beat the play.
And a base hit for him in his first at bat in a Braves uniform. Strong throw. Close enough to be safe.
You know, you showed remarkable restraint before you made your call there. You know, earlier you were over umpiring.
Yeah, I backed off on that because Joe West is one of the best. I don't know that he's ever missed one.
Beachy. A good sacrifice.
By the way, last night we weren't sure why the umpire, the home plate umpire specifically, kept coming off the field, was late coming back. Then Joe West was going off with him. Well, it wasn't that they had a bad lunch somewhere. It actually turns out that Joe has created, and we've seen this before, the West vest that the umpires wear a lot. And they have slots in them now for cooling packets. So during the game, Angel Campos would go in every couple of innings and change those cooling packs that fit in the vest. And I think Joe was going in to supervise about how they were supposed to fit. But Chris Van Zant in the Braves clubhouse explained that to us. So thank you for doing that, Chris. And now we're up to date.
Jordan Schaefer doubled down the third base line his first time up. And we are seeing more and more of that inside-out swing from Jordan Schaefer from the left side. He's been out for early batting practice virtually every game on this homestand, trying to concentrate on lining the ball between third base and shortstop.
The great thing for Jordan is that that's something he hasn't done and worked on much in his career. So when he gets a good feel for that, he's still going to have the ability to turn on the ball. And he's very strong, so if there are any mistakes, any breaking balls, hanging breaking balls or something, he could still jump all over them.
This is Jordan's 26th game since coming up from the minor leagues. Despite hitting .230, he scored 20 runs.
Yeah,
and stolen 8 bases. I mean,
that's key.
Yep.
Runs scored.
And a line drive caught by Lind at first. Braves get 3 hits, one of them a big one off the bat of Dan Uggla, his first homer this year off a left-handed pitcher, and it went a mile. Braves 2, Toronto nothing as we head to the third inning. The Atlanta Braves on Sports South are brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by the Home Depot, by McDonald's, and by Honda. Things looking bright and sunny indeed here in Atlanta. Braves have scored 2, and we go to the third inning. Good to see the greatest manager in the history of both of these franchises at the ballpark today.
There's the brain trust. Terry McGurk, John Schuerholz, Frank Wren, and Bobby Cox.
And you know the skipper has to enjoy the production of Dan Uggla and the pitching of Brandon Beachy, who will try to shut him down with a 2-0 lead. A drive to right, but playable for Jason. Escobar is out number 1. One of your keys for Beachy, don't overthrow. He has struck out 5. He's allowed 2 hits.
Might have overthrown a couple of breaking balls, a couple that were hangers that stayed up but out of the zone where they couldn't reach him, a couple others that he bounced up there. But he has had a good fastball and gotten ahead of the hitters, done a good job of getting ahead to set up some strikeouts.
One of them is Corey Patterson, who struck out in the first inning.
See, he swung at that last pitch that was a little bit up in the zone, and he wasn't even sure if it was a strike and had to ask the umpire.
6 for Beachy. He's gotten Patterson twice.
Brian giving him a high target. He delivers it there. They found that spot you were talking about and exploiting it.
Here's Batista. Mention how well the Braves have pitched this man. It's the first time all year he hasn't reached base in 2 straight games. But that might end with that shot off of Batista's bat. It's a solo home run, his second in the last 23 games. And just like that, Toronto's on the board. It's a 2-1 score.
Some of that consecutive games reaching base has to do with how many teams pitch around him, too, leading the majors in walks. But fastball outer third, not a bad pitch, just that it was up a little bit, so he got some extension on it. And it was not hit as far as Uggla's, but pretty much no doubt.
So 22 home runs for Batista. He takes over the American League lead, passing Teixeira, Konerko, and Curtis Granderson. And believe it or not, even with this long homerless drought, he's still ahead of last year's pace. He had 20 homers at the end of June last year.
Now, Paul Konerko's joined that discussion. I think he's homered in 5 straight games. 5 straight.
Yeah, did Nazi Guillen say Paul Konerko's a Hall of Fame player? I think he said that in the papers in Chicago, that he believes he'll make it to Cooperstown.
I'll have to go back and check those numbers, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Konerko was thinking along your lines.
Yeah.
He laughed, actually, and said, well, I want to thank Ozzie, but I don't think I'm a Hall of Fame player.
I love my manager, but
yes.
Where had he been before he said that?
With Ozzie, you never know, right?
Yeah. Love Ozzie.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Beachy, another strikeout. That is 7 in 3 innings today. And on a hot day in Atlanta, Jose Bautista's bat might be heating up. He hits a long homer, his 22nd of the season, and it cuts the Braves lead in half. Three chances for fireworks. Friday, July 1st, Saturday, July 2nd. It's presented by Publix. And, of course, Monday, July 4th is the #1 4th of July fireworks show in Atlanta, presented by Publix and Disney's Captain America. For tickets, visit Braves.com or call 800-745-3000. Jason Hayward, Chipper Jones, Brian McCann coming up. Leadoff walk. They just kept pitching him away, and Jason kept looking away.
JoJo's last start came against the Reds, who, as you know, are a very good hitting team. In fact, they're the only team in baseball that have a better batting average against left-handed pitching than the Blue Jays, the Reds. And yet he beat them 3-2. Pitched into the 7th inning, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs and no walks. Struck out 5 on the 17th.
Foul ball strike to Chipper Jones, who popped out his first time up today. Chipper, as you know, missed a handful of games with that adductor strain. Back in the lineup today. Day off tomorrow, then in San Diego Friday. Driven to center, but playable for Corey Patterson. Hayward back to first, 1 out for Brian McCann.
Yeah, in fact, the Braves are doing something today that they haven't done in a couple of years, but they used to do several years ago, and that is leave on the day of the game and have the entire off day at your next stop, which is San Diego. Not a bad place to have an off day.
Yeah, with all due respect to Pittsburgh, I could understand waiting.
Yes.
But 3 Western trips before the All-Star break.
That one all the way to the backstop as McCann showed bunt. And Hayward all the way up to second. Nobody was covering third with the shift on.
Please tell me that missed the mic. We just got it fixed. They're calling it Frankenstein back there. Oh, that was close.
Oh, he kicked a field goal.
The one on the left got nailed by Zepchinski last night. Dave Poole did some miraculous glue work today.
Hey, you want to make an audio engineer cry?
Well, there's Dave down there now. He's shaking his head.
They're like his children.
Yeah. He worked so hard and he almost lost it again. This was last night. Damn. Took out the cone around the crowd mic. Bless his heart, old Dave just hard at work today, like putting some terracotta back to work.
Quite frankly, that's how you win an Emmy, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. You do what you got to do.
You got to play her.
Yeah. And he named it Frankenstein. And another close call today.
Oh, man. 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a drive to right. Did he get enough? Yes, he did. Unbelievable. He's been hot. I don't ever remember him this hot.
No, me neither. That's 7 homers in his last 14 games, over 44 at-bats. He's an all-star, you know, Silver Slugger Award winner. He needs your vote. He is still the leading vote getter among catchers. But, man, is he ever deserving.
Wow. That was just a high, towering, majestic shot into the right center field seats for Brian.
See where the location was. Supposed to be away, but the slider stayed up and out over the plate a little bit. And he stayed back. He credits his brother for noticing something in his swing about a month ago that really got him on this tear.
And that goes back to my question that I had for you. If Reyes can't get the ball to his glove side, is that what happens?
Yes. I mean, for any pitcher, though, you hang that slider out over the plate, you're going to get it hit. Especially, Chip, sorry, if you're looking away and then it hangs there, then you're in great position to turn on it.
So 4 runs, 5 hits for the Braves, 2 long home runs. Atlanta back in front 4-1. That's cued toward third. A lot of funny spin. But Nix hung with it. 2 out.
The one thing that was very noticeable about Dan Uggla's swing on his home run that was estimated to go 430 feet was how simple it was and how he didn't pull off the pitch. Didn't see that back leg buckle. He kept his weight back, but not so much that he went to one knee on the swing. That's why he knew when he hit it that he got a hold of it. Short swing, much shorter.
His first homer against a left-handed pitcher. And for young fans, when you say pull off the ball, what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, for Dan, all season long, his hips have been flying open, and I think that's been pulling his weight to his heels, where even his head's been flying open.
Long throw by Nix. And that sets down the Braves in the 3rd inning. Brian McCann, a long 2-run homer. He is some kind of hot, folks, and so is the weather. Braves trying to finish off a sweep. Have a 4-1 lead at home after 3 against Toronto. The Atlanta Braves on Sports South are brought to you in part by Georgia Power, by Toyota, by Blimpie, and by Geico. Braves are playing long ball against Toronto in this series. 2 homers today, and it's a 4-1 game after 3. We're heading west, folks. Hope you'll join us on television at the Sewanee Town Center this Saturday for our Game on the Green outdoor viewing party. Braves and Padres will be shown on a giant 25-foot outdoor movie screen. The festivities begin at 6:30 with entertainment for the whole family. Visit Braves.com/GameOnTheGreen. It's presented by Sports South, 680 The Fan, Fox Sports South, Rock 100.5, and Q100.
You know what's cool about that? Is that all those folks will be watching the game in Sewanee on that screen, and then there will be people in San Diego out on the berm behind the field watching the game from the berm there on this big screen they have on the back of their scoreboard.
That's right. But as we have said so often, with a screen of that size, 2 words are very, very important. Soft focus.
Yes. Just think Linda Evans.
Rivera pops it up to the right side. And Dan's got that for an easy first out. Haven't talked at all about the job Mike Minor did last night. After a disappointing start 2 starts ago, a real redeemer for him as he was sent back to AAA to make room for Beachy off the DL.
Yeah, and as Freddie Gonzalez told him, he said, this is just bad timing. It doesn't have anything to do with the way you pitched or didn't pitch. It's just timing-wise, and Mike will be back up here real soon. And Freddie also made a good point. He said, we don't want you to come back because of an injury. We want you back here because you're making your way back onto this ball club. But what a display last night by Mike. It was outstanding, and really took over when the Braves gave him the lead. He didn't look back. That was when he was at his best.
And perhaps the sign of maturity as a pitcher. It's a very different outcome than 2 starts ago when he had a lead and couldn't get through the 5th inning.
Yeah, a 6-2 lead in that ball game. But gave up a run in the first, and then at one point right before he left the game, he had retired 13 in a row.
So here's Beachy making his first start since coming back from the oblique. And he has really commanded the strike zone. That's his 8th strikeout in this game. He's gotten 11 outs.
First 15 batters, he's had 7 0-2 counts. That's being aggressive.
And he's got the bases clear for Aaron Hill, who walked in the Toronto second.
He's one away from his career high, which is 9 strikeouts. Did it once this year on May 5th against Milwaukee, which was right there before I think the last start before he got hurt. And once last year against Washington.
But it looks like he can throw 3 pitches wherever he wants. At least today he can.
He's just one of those guys. He's very unassuming, but he loves to pitch. He wants the baseball. He's got great grit and determination, and really earned the respect of his teammates last year in 3 starts down the stretch in a pennant race, trying to get the wild card, and a couple of those starts were against Philadelphia.
Made the jump from Instructional League to a pennant race at Citizens Bank Park, where he debuted and gave the Braves a chance.
Well, think about it. He went undrafted. Nobody in 50 rounds took a chance on him. Braves signed him as a undrafted free agent for $20,000. I think that was a pretty good investment.
Up foul and out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gene Kern's the man that signed Brandon. He's a third baseman, relief pitcher. Indiana Wesleyan. And now trying for his 2nd win of the season. Deep short, and Lugo can't get that. Hill has a 2-out single.
His first hit of the series.
Here's Jason Nix.
Got that fastball up a little bit.
Stevie's got a few more hits than Jason lately. He's 2 for his last 28. Back out of play, foul. Strike 1.
When we last saw his brother Lance with Washington, he was having a good year after going from the Reds to the Nats. Washington got another win last night, a walk-off against Seattle.
Was it Espinosa that did the damage?
I think so. Oh, Wilson Ramos that did it.
But Espinosa's had a good month too for them. I know that.
Washington's in 3rd place in the division all by themselves. Climbed ahead of the Mets last night.
Yeah, they've changed some things in Washington. Mike Morse is playing first base. The pitcher's been hitting 8th. They're scoring some runs.
And Florida snapped their losing streak. Jack McKeon gets his first win in his return.
I was really hoping he'd come out as the manager and wear a coat and tie like Connie Mack.
And a bowler, that would be great.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I'll tell you how times have changed. Logan Morrison, their fine outfielder, is a big fan of the Twitter sensation. Jack McKeon asked him, Logan, what are you going to go do after the game? I'm going to go home and play with Twitter. And Jack said, what's your dog's name? Or what kind of dog is it, you know? Jack hasn't quite caught on to the internet craze down in Miami. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Don't have to be in Miami not to be involved in that.
Runner goes, and off speed. Nix took it, and Beachy has struck out 9 men in 4 innings. Wow. 4-1, Atlanta the lead, looking for more at Turner Field. Braves by 3 after 3.5 at Turner Field. An 88-degree sunny day. Very humid weather. And the Braves heating up too, trying to sweep away their former mate, JoJo Reyes, who's the subject of our AT&T Uverse trivia question, perhaps. Who's the only Toronto left-hander with 20 games won in a season.
I'm going to go Jimmy Key on that one.
That's a pretty good guess. Nate McLouth is the hitter. I know today's stat man Hal Galima loves left-handed pitchers. One of his favorite was David Wells.
It's a pretty good call too.
David Wells, Boomer 120 with Toronto.
Nate, take that one off the foot. He can't go through a game without getting hit with the ball somewhere. Oh, that was off the leg. Yeah, the shin right below the knee. Oh, boy.
That's why I called him Nate McLouch.
Yeah, that's a great name for him. That spot, you'll be able to push on it tomorrow, and it'll just leave a indentation in there like a cantaloupe. Awful.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you do that.
Yeah. Show us, Nate.
Popped up. Nix and Escobar. Yunel's got it. And one out for Julio Lugo, who picked up an infield hit his first time up as a Brave. Lugo making his first start today since October 1st. He started at second base that day for Baltimore last year. His first shortstop start since September 1st of last season in the Major Leagues. And quickly, 2 out for Brandon Beachy. The Braves took the bat out of his hands in the second. And maybe this Geico quote tells you why.
Yeah, I love this. I think I've solidified myself as one of the worst hitters in all of baseball. With my 0 for the season so far and my oblique injury coming at the plate, I'm just trying to earn a little bit of respect around here by maybe a hard line out or something like that. Well, you just keep putting some good bunts down, I think everybody would be happy.
Yeah, break out of the bad luck Schleprock mode there, Brandon. 1 for 19 lifetime. 3 sacrifices this year. And again, he was a third baseman in college, so he's had some success swinging the bat, you'd think.
You know how Bobby used to yell at the pitchers, easy when they'd hit a ground ball? Freddie might be over there yelling every time he swings, easy. Don't overswing, and now he fouls one off his foot. Just take a pitch and go sit down. Get out of there.
Well, he grounds to second. And JoJo Reyes has his first 1-2-3 inning in today's game. 4-1 Atlanta on a sun-splashed afternoon at the 10. early present so far, lead 4-1 after 4 innings at home. And fans, now time for the Braves Steal of the Week, the official weekly ticket deal from the Braves. Go to Braves.com/steal between now and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can get upper box tickets for the July 4th weekend for just $10. That'll save you up to 58% off the regular ticket price. You can even show up on your bicycle if you want. Visit Braves.com/steal now.
Those are very sharp. Well done.
JoJo Reyes leads off the 5th. And it's a hot, muggy day. There is rain west of us.
Glad we're not playing there.
Amen, brother. Strike one to Reyes.
Just looking at the minor league numbers for Brandon Beachy. He did not make a start for Danville in 08, all relief appearances. Did not make a start at the beginning of 09 in Rome. 12 relief appearances. Then he went to Mississippi for 1 game, a relief appearance. They sent him to Myrtle Beach. 22 games at Myrtle Beach. He made 8 starts. And then last year started in AA. 27 games, only 6 starts. So it isn't like he's been starting his whole minor league career. 76 minor league games, only 21 starts.
But double-digit strikeouts for the first time as a big leaguer. He takes care of his mound opponent, JoJo Reyes. Wow.
Well, Hansen had 14 in 7 innings the other day in Houston. This is that type of performance, as he's just mowing these guys down. Fastball, curveball, changeup, throwing an occasional slider in there.
Well, I know we've talked about this a couple of times. One thing television does not do justice is show you how big and strong these players are. With the distance the cameras are from the field of play. You stand next to Brandon Beachy. This kid's a big, strong Indiana young right-hander.
Yeah, he is. 6'3", 215. But everything's working off his fastball. And he's aggressive with it. He's got the lead, getting ahead. That was the slider.
And Escobar went too far for a 1-2 count.
Only walked 1. That was Hill back in the 2nd inning.
How many 2 strike counts for Beachy? By that I mean 0-2 counts. He had Escobar 1-2 in this at bat.
7 of his first 15 that he faced.
Popped up. Freddie Freeman's going to have plenty of room in foul ground for out number 2.
Good fastball. Tied him up.
Escobar with a word for Chad Fairchild. He didn't think he should have been called a second strike. Here's Corey Patterson. Beachy struck him out swinging twice.
There's been one ground ball hit to an infielder. All the outs have either been strikeouts or pop-ups.
And Hal tells us Beachy's gone 0-2 to 8 Toronto hitters today.
Great change up there, 79. Good arm action, no difference from his fastball.
"11 strikeouts for Brandon Beachy. Toronto retired in order in the top of the 5th.
A lot of long balls today to go with those 10 strikeouts for Brandon Beachy. All 4 runs come from homers for the Braves today. First one in the 2nd inning, a 430-foot shot from Dan Ugla, his 10th of the year. That gave the Braves the lead. 3rd inning, Jose Bautista, his major league leading 22nd home run. That was a pretty good shot, but the Braves come right back in the 3rd inning with Brian McCann's 7th homer in his last 14 games. It was 405 feet.
And that's been more than enough for Beachy today. We'll watch the top of his order go to work against Reyes in the 5th inning. 4-1 Braves. Schaefer, Hayward, Chipper coming up.
Pitches for Beachy through 5 innings, and this being his first start since May 13th. You just wonder how long Freddie and Roger McDowell will allow him to go back out there just in an effort to protect him, since he hasn't pitched much.
I love what you said about Beachy's rehab start, how he felt and what the results were. I would imagine he'd have the same review today, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you'd think so. Just a really good fastball, locating it. And that set up the curve and changeup especially.
McCann said after that rehab outing, as good as the numbers were, I felt better.
Yeah.
Now Aaron Sebia will talk things over with JoJo Reyes.
Last pitch away, glove side, outside corner. Last time up, he hooked one hard right at Lind at first base. I don't know if they'll come in there to keep him honest or not. No.
And it's poked into left center field, and Corey Patterson, sliding, came up with the catch. Jordan can't believe it.
That was a good piece of hitting, too. And he did catch the ball. Nice play by Patterson. Kept it from short hopping on the grass, but a good piece of 1-ball, 2-strike hitting against the lefty from Jordan Schaefer.
So Patterson makes the catch, sticks the landing, and now Hayward hits. Jason scored ahead of Brian McCann's third-inning homer. Pitch walk. Hayward aboard for the second time. And now Chipper hits.
He's been aggressive early in the count with JoJo today.
Earlier this year, Chipper passed one of the great Blue Jays of all time for third place on the all-time doubles list for switch hitters, Robbie Alomar,
who's going into the Hall of Fame this year. I'd like for JoJo to make a mistake with that slider trying to come down and into Chipper and let him drop the barrel on it.
Chipper upset, flips the bat away in frustration. You rarely see that as Chipper flies out to right for out number 2.
He pulled off that ball badly. One of those that he would like to have back because he wouldn't swing at it. Didn't need to swing at that one count-wise. Chipper always has a good plan. He always goes up there with a good approach about what he wants to do, what he expects from these pitchers. He knows them from scouting reports frontwards and backwards, and then if he gets himself out like he did there, then that's what makes him the maddest.
Shift on for McCann. He beat the shift the best possible way. Hit it over everybody's head. Or everybody's heads, whichever way you prefer.
And the chop house shift on. Oh, good idea. The good thing for Brian, if he does want to do that, is he doesn't have to be perfect with the bunt. He just makes sure you get it done and make it fair.
He got it down. JoJo pounces and gets him by a step. JoJo says, no. Terrific play to rob Brian McCann of a bunt single with the shift on, and we are through 5, an official game. The Braves are officially winning it by a 3-run tally. Fun here starts on Sports South and Fox Sports South. Fred, Brian, and Jerome will be on hand to set it up with complete pregame coverage on Braves Live. It all kicks off Friday at 9:30 right here on Sports South. Derek Lowe gets the ball Friday for the Braves in the road trip opener.
Tip the cap to our producer all week for this homestand, Bill Cochran. He's done a great job and nobody got hurt.
So here's Batista, and look at how Beachy is going to work in the 6th inning out of the stretch.
Wonder why.
Last time out of the windup didn't work out so well. Batista hit a home run against him.
Yeah, we didn't want him to get too comfortable up there either.
Popped him up. Lugo. 1 out. Let's see if Beachy stays in the stretch with Lindup.
Or if Chipper's asking him the same question. And now back to the windup.
Maybe wanted to give Batista a different look. I don't remember a starting pitcher doing that for one hitter in the middle of a well-pitched game. Now 3-0. And a one-out walk to the Toronto first baseman.
While Beachy was pitching to Batista, Chipper was having a conversation with Brian Butterfield, and it looked like he was saying he's trying to shake up Batista's timing by working out of the stretch. I don't know if that was an assumption on Chipper's part, but if he was right, it worked.
So now he's back to the stretch, this time with a runner at first. Rivera singled in the second, popped out in the fourth, and is 1 for 2 on the day.
Which number 95 coming in with that, Scott Linebrink begins to loosen up in the Atlanta pen.
Getting a little dicey now. 3 balls and a strike. Braves with a 3-run lead, a runner aboard, and a powerful hitter way ahead in the count. Oh, Chipper picking and grinning. Ugla will turn a double play.
And Chipper just wanted to get rid of it as quick as he possibly could because it was red hot.
Yowza, 5-4-3 around the horn, and the Braves still lead by 3. Season long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price. What a day for Brandon Beachy, back from the disabled list with a big-time flourish.
Scattered the 4 hits, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, a homer in the third, 1 in the fourth.
Freeman, Ugla, McLouth up for the Braves against Jojo Reyes. Freddie singled in the second and scored on Dan Ugla's 2-run homer.
Well, that was a good swing by Freddie and a good approach too, because check out this defensive alignment, especially on the left side. They're way off the line for him. Nick's almost over at shortstop. Escobar up the middle. Big holes, and Reyes pitching him away. So on the pitch before, he had a good hack. Looked like he was thinking about left center. Plenty of room on that left side if Reyes continues to go out there for the left-handed hitter to go the other way.
That's Yunel Escobar whistling out there, by the way. And a full count pitch to Freeman. It's JoJo's first strikeout since the first inning of the game. And his second in total today.
Here's Ugla. And it was to the inside third. Pitch that was running in on him a little bit.
And that's the last pitch that JoJo Reyes will throw on this day. 84 tosses for Toronto. 2 pitches he'd like to have back. One to Ugla, one to McCann. Both of them 2-run homers, and the difference in the 6th inning. Home runs to the Braves today, and that's the difference in the 4-1 Atlanta game. Braves still batting in the 6th. 1 out, bases clear. And back to the AT&T Universe trivia question. Name the only Toronto left-handed starter with a 20-game winning season.
I got to go with Jimmy Key.
I'm going David Wells.
I think he won 22 games. Way to go.
Had 2 days off, read the whole media guide.
Sean Kemp, in his second game of this series, just got 1 out in game 1. He is a guy that throws a lot of off-speed stuff. Sinkers, sliders, breaking balls, change-ups. Try to trick Dan Ugla.
And pulled foul down the third base line. Camp's a Southerner. He's out of Fairfax, Virginia. Went to the University of North Alabama. And also George Mason.
Glove's bigger than he is.
And he did fool Dan. Couldn't pull the trigger. Camp has his first strikeout.
Sweeping breaking ball. No, just a changeup. thought it was a breaking ball, but straight change.
Here's Nate. Nate's 0 for 2. And roller on the right side, and Kemp has an easy time of it in relief. And we move along to the 7th in Atlanta. And a great job by Brandon Beachy. He's taken down after nearly 100 pitches and 11 strikeouts today. The AT&T call to the bullpen features Scott Linebrink.
Scott's a guy who's been pitching real well lately and earning a little more responsibility in terms of his spots in the game. This is his 5th game of this homestand. 2 games against the Mets, 2 against Texas, his first against Toronto, and his ERA going down rapidly. He's given up 3 hits in those 4 outings in this homestand, covering 5 innings, no runs, no walks, and a couple of strikeouts. Eric O'Flaherty pitched last night, and it was his first game in 5 days, so I'm not sure they'll use him on back-to-back days or not. Pitched a good inning. Back's feeling better, and they want to push it.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. Not only the back-to-back, but the back.
Yeah,
for Eric. Point you have to pay attention to. So the bottom part of the order up for Toronto in the 7th. Arancibia, the catcher, will go to work first. And Scotty doesn't mind hot weather. He's from Texas. He's used to this stuff. Braves begin play today. 4.5 games behind the Phillies. They play a little later on today against St. Louis.
The Cardinals had a lead on them last night late, but couldn't hold it.
The Cardinals are really beat up. You know about Pujols. It's a big loss, quite obviously, but they've had bullpen issues all year long.
And they've just gotten Matt Holliday back, too, so that hurts that they lose Pujols right away.
Well, I wouldn't mind it if San Diego decided to maybe trade Heath Bell to the Cardinals before we get to town tomorrow.
That'd be nice. .95 on that fastball from Linebrink. with Pujols out of action.
Wow, what a catch.
That was a great catch. Didn't bring his glove just for shade.
And that fan's not from Mississauga, Ontario.
Nicely done, sir.
And a sharply hit single by Arancibia leads off the Toronto 7th.
But with Pujols out of action for the All-Star game, Joey Votto is the number 2 vote getter. Looks like he would be the next one in line, but I'm not sure how that works. Does he automatically, whoever the number 2 vote getter is he the automatic starter, or does the manager have an option there?
Al believes it's the players' ballot that would determine that.
Okay.
And if Albert wins the vote total but doesn't play, he's still considered an all-star. He makes the team, right? But doesn't play, obviously, because of the injury. There's Aaron Hill. He's walked in single today. And now he's got an even count. What a story it would be for the Braves if they can win this game, finish off the sweep, and finish off a winning homestand after the frustrating way it started.
Yeah, they lost 4 of their first 5. And the one win was a balk-off.
And a strike. Will that stay in the air from McLeod? Yes, it will. Nate slides to a stop. And Hill retired on a sinking line drive for the first out. Nice play in left.
Made a couple of nice plays in left field since he's come back and moved from center to left field. He's playing first out of the inning.
Toronto goes to its bench and calls on Edwin Encarnacion to pinch hit for Nix. Nix struck out twice. Hey, nice stop by Brian Butterfield, the third base coach.
From Major League Baseball, the rule for what I just asked about Pujols, in the event that a player who is a fan selection is unable to play in the All-Star game, the manager shall select the replacement. The starter at that position, however, shall be a player selection on the player board. So we had that right. You had that right, because I didn't know.
Well, I had some help from the Hoosier to your right, Mr. Galima. That's a pretty fair way of doing it, though, don't you think? Manager manages the game. The players make their choice known, too. Linebrink deflects that out towards second. Might have had a chance for 2. But it's a 1-4-3 put out of Encarnacion. Arancibia at second with 2 down.
Yeah, that was going to be DP lane right there. That was going to be one of those where Uggla could just field it, step on the bag, and flip.
Here's Jose Molina. He'll bat for Camp.
As we saw last night, good low end fastball hitter.
He's got kind of the Andres Galarraga approach at his setup in the batter's box.
Well, he hit a ball off the left field wall last night that looked a lot like a big cat line drive. Stop by Brian. Squeezing that baseball like it got his hand. Maybe off the heel of his glove hand.
Did he go? Yes, he did, and that will retire the side. Molina down on a check swing. Toronto has struck out 12 times in this game. That's the first for Linebrink, and we stretch with a 4-1 lead. We're headed to San Diego to get a look at the Padres. They've still been struggling out in the National League West, but they are a dramatically different looking team, especially at first base. Got our first look at that new youngster, Anthony Rizzo, the key to the Adrian Gonzalez deal.
Well, they need and welcome any kind of help they can get offensively. Their pitching, their ERA is not bad, but it is anchored by their bullpen. They have arguably as good a bullpen as the Braves, one they think is good, certainly, and you just can't give the Padres a lead, even a one-run lead from the 7th inning on. They're that good.
See Edwin Encarnacion taking over at third base, and a man the Braves have seen a time or two, John Roush, big king-sized right-hander.
7 for 9 in save opportunities. Goes hard, fastball, slider. I think his fastball cut, sink.
If I remember right, when we were in San Diego last, we got Ryan Ludwig hot.
Yes. Actually, I think it was when they were here. That's when he got it going.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Lugo.
Right before that last road trip, they won 2 out of 3 here.
Yeah, you might be right. I remember him having a big series. I couldn't remember here or there. Time to think about the Padres just yet. Braves have a 3-run lead, need 6 more outs. Hill has to hurry, shovels, and the stretch at first in time to retire Lugo for out number 1.
On a do-or-die play, typically on a slow roller like that, the second baseman's going to barehand the ball, but Hill fielded it in his glove and then just kind of shoveled it over to Lynn. And it wasn't a very good shovel. It's much more garden spade-like.
But good enough to get the job done as Brooks Conrad bats for Linebrink. Roush is 6'10". Brooks Conrad is 5'11". He's going to really have to throw downhill.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tilt advantage. Are the Reds and Yankees playing a doubleheader today?
I think they have to, yeah.
Got rained out yesterday.
Split, Hal? I guess it'd have to be a split. They're not going to give up a gate. The Yankees in.
They're already in the 9th inning of game 1. Over 40,000 there for game 1 today. I think they had 42 or something like that for their first game of the series.
Popped up. Chance perhaps for Encarnacion near the Jays dugout, and a reaching attempt comes up a little short.
Well, at least that trip wasn't for nothing. Yelled to somebody to give him his shades. And he's got the T on his cap well covered.
Pinch hit homers for Brooks this year, a .259 batting average as a pinch hitter.
And it was his 9th inning pinch hit homer against the Mets that allowed them to get to a position where they win the walk off in the 10th.
All part of Freddie's managerial strategy, right?
Mm-hmm. Big scheme of things.
High fly to right. At the wall. Leaping try, and it's off the glove and off the wall. The ball's still in play. Conrad in at third is going to be called out. The Braves are going to say this was a home run. And Joe West stops Freddie Gonzalez before he crosses the first base line.
It's going to be a Brian McCann review home run. Hit off the top of the fence, hit the back wall, and came back. From Joe West's angle and down on the field, he can't tell that. He can't see it. He's conferring, and they're going to review it.
So the players will stay on the field. One umpire will remain on the field. Freddie Gonzalez again will talk it over with the home plate umpire, and here's another look.
And since Brooks Conrad was called out at third base, off the back wall, See, he could run over to first base right now and just stand there for a minute so that when they say it's a homer, he'll get the benefit of the trot. Otherwise, he's only going to get to trot 90 feet. That's not so much fun.
It's so hot, I think he's happy to take a breather and just walk the 90 feet. But clearly from those replays, you saw the ball ricochet off the top of the fence.
His third pinch hit homer of the year coming up shortly. Just out of the reach of Bautista, off the padding, and then the back wall.
Touch them all, Brooks. Or at least one more. Braves have hit 3 home runs today. They've scored 5 runs today. And Tim Hudson's home run trot was still slower than Conrad's.
Yes. Even with the review.
And what is it about? I mean, I know pinch hitters usually bat late in the game, but you'd think you'd run into a couple of home runs before the 7th inning. Somehow, some way, this guy just sprinkles the pixie dust when the number of outs left are a precious few.
Calling card from Mr. Roush there.
Remember, no matter how well you pitch, if you don't score, you're generally not going to win. That's been the fate of Toronto this entire road trip. They had a runner at second base in the first inning, nobody out, struck out 3 straight times against Beachy. They had 2 on with 1 out in the second of a scoreless game. Beachy shut him down again, and only Batista's homer has dented the scoreboard for John Farrell's Jays today. That ball's drilled to right. Bautista at the wall again. He's going to leap again, and he's going to catch this one. Wow.
How's Jordan Schaefer looking today? A double, a line out to first, robbed by Patterson in center, and now a home run taken away. What a great timed jump by Bautista up over the fence. One quick look at the wall and then brought it back. Great play.
And this was a man that started the spring as the Toronto third baseman, you'll recall. But just a spectacular play to take away a home run. And now there are 2 outs.
It's going to sound kind of funny. That ball was hit farther than Brooks's.
Yeah.
You know, Brooks has landed on top of the fence because Bautista didn't get there in time. That one was actually up over the padding, and Bautista went up over and got it.
Jason strikes out to end the Atlanta 7th. Brooks Conrad, another pinch hit home run, his 3rd of the season. And after a replay, he takes the grand tour. The Braves lead 5-1. 5-1 Braves after 7. Top of the Toronto order is coming up, but they have to deal with the Braves bullpen now, and that's not been easy for anybody. Here's why. The Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard.
They've passed the Padres, moved up to the top of the charts in team bullpen ERA. Venners comes on to work the 8th.
So he's the second man to answer the AT&T call to the bullpen. We mentioned how the managers and the players ballot will have a lot to do with who plays first base for the National League in the All-Star voting. This guy's got to make the team, doesn't he?
I would think so. I don't know how he couldn't. That ERA, by the way, that means 3 earned runs in 46 1/3 innings. Worked an inning last night, got 3 ground ball outs in the 9th.
Escobar taps to Chipper. That is a fair ball. Bad throw, and Freeman, dangerous play, hangs on, makes the tag.
That's what got Albert Pujols in trouble. A throw that pulled him into the line, but Freddie able to kind of spin as he's making the tag and get out of the way.
Rajai Davis now for the 8th inning. Patterson down after an 0 for 3 at the plate. Well, you see that play and you think about Cliff Floyd's injury, Albert Pujols' injury. That is scary stuff. Chipper calls off Venners, but Davis can fly and legs out a hit.
Chipper had the best chance there, and you could hear him calling Venners off, but no chance with Davis practically running out of the box as he made contact.
So Batista has hit a homer. He's also brought one back. And he's thinking about lifting and separating here with a 5-1 Toronto deficit.
Johnny Venners has pitched on back-to-back days a lot this year and has not given up a run in 16 2/3 total innings in his work without any rest.
Well, you want a potential all-star test? Here you go. Best home run hitter in baseball this year against arguably the best relief pitcher in baseball this year. One and two.
Folks down that far down the line in the Golden Moon Casino level don't get too many souvenirs, and I'm not sure they really wanted that one. One and two counts in his career. Opponents are 2 for 79 against him.
Think about that, folks. 2 hits, lifetime, on a 1-2 count.
2 for 79. It was Jose Batista back in 2007 when he was playing with the Pirates at PNC Park that had a collision with Chipper. Chipper was running from second to third. Batista had tried to make a play on a ground ball and was on the ground. Chipper fell over him and wound up going on the disabled list when he tried to break his fall with both hands. Coming down, landing on his hands, bruised his hands.
So Batista now a 3-2 count. And Johnny lost him. So 2 on, 1 out. Lind, the hitter, with a 5-1 Braves lead.
Johnny faced him last night, got him to ground out to Freddie Freeman. And it was a pitch he kind of rolled over the top of, trying to pull whatever he saw. I'd say that's a drastic improvement this year for Adam Lind, hitting against left-handed pitchers.
Freeman will take the sure out. Runners move up to second and third for Rivera with 2 out.
Those tack-on runs may not seem like a lot, but they sure are important. And that home run for Brooks Conrad gave the bullpen a little more breathing room. Even with runners on base, they're okay.
Yeah, if Rivera touches one off here, the Braves would still lead. Yikes, strike 1. Got a piece of Brian McCann on the way by, and now Rivera behind 0-2.
Good hard sinker. Slider down and in. That's what he seems to like to do when he gets ahead in the count. Tried it. Nice block by McCann. Just overcooked that one a little bit.
Yeah, between Brandon Beachy and Johnny Venters, there have been a few in front of the plate today.
Now Brian's had to work hard on a hot, muggy day.
Mess around and put Rivera on here. So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If he's going to get him here and he's throwing the slider in the dirt, he's going to go to the sinker. He's going to have to make it close enough to a strike to get him to offer.
It was close, but he didn't offer. And now a 2-out walk will bring the potential tying run to the plate for Toronto.
It's a pretty good pitch, but it started in, caused him to flinch and move back right away, and then he had no reason to offer. He was at the mercy of whatever movement the pitch had.
So Roger McDowell trots to the center of the diamond to talk things over with Johnny Venters. Jays have loaded the bases, down 4 runs in the 8th.
Fifth game of this homestand for Venters. 1 against the Mets, 2 against Texas, and now 2 against Toronto.
And we showed you that stat of how good Johnny's been with no days of rest. However, he's in his 42nd game. Here's Arancibia. Good scoop on ball one.
He's off, though. He was talking about that game where he gave up a couple of runs. One was earned to the Mets on the 16th, and he said, I didn't have it today. I just didn't have a good release point. And he's fighting that a little bit today. A rare time. Good splits for this guy, too. And he's got 10 homers.
One ball, two strikes. One of those homers was a grand slam. And he was thinking about one with that pitch.
Well, he likes the ball middle of the plate in. That ball landed on the middle of the plate, so I guess he thought he should go after it. But try to kind of minimalize his power, keep the ball away from him here ahead in the count.
And he struck him out. Arancibia asks if it was a strike. The end result was, and Toronto loads him up but cannot break through. 5-1, middle of the eighth. Braves trying to sweep away Toronto and do so before the bad weather hits town on this sunny Wednesday afternoon. Selecting great seats at Turner Field just got easier with the Braves' new interactive seat map. Go to Braves.com/tickets today to view the best available seats. The interactive seat map is easy to use and will help you get great seats at a great price. Give it a try at Braves.com/tickets. Rajai Davis stays in the game. He replaces Corey Patterson in center. And the Jays call upon their third relief pitcher on the afternoon.
Luis Perez is 26 years old. He pitched in game one of this series and got a couple of outs. Pretty much a starter his whole minor league career. Called up to this ball club and used primarily out of the bullpen.
The order up for Atlanta. Chipper Jones will start things off. Chipper is 0 for 3 today.
Panthers pitchers have really done a number on Toronto's offense. They have 2 runs on 13 hits in 3 games.
We told you that's been a big problem for them on this road trip. Back-to-back days for the Braves offense. They've scored 5 runs. Maybe an encouraging sign for the road trip coming up.
All on homers.
Braves just had an excellent road trip. They went 7-3 on their last journey. We'll start things off in San Diego Friday, a place where the Braves have historically played very good baseball. So maybe a little win streak can continue on the West Coast.
Braves numbers, sorry, Chip, Braves numbers in day games decent, 13 and 10 in day games. Not so for the Blue Jays. They are just 9 and 20 in day games this year. It's interesting, earlier when they put a shift on, they left Escobar at shortstop. Now Escobar moves over to the first base side of second, and Encarnacion plays short.
Oh, bad hop. And McCann will take that. He's aboard with 1 out and has his second hit in 4 tries.
He was trying real hard to go that way with all that room on the other side. Remember, he tried to bunt his way aboard last time up. A big high hop. Bounces over Encarnacion. And who's to say, maybe Escobar playing over there still gloves it.
Here's Freddie Freeman. Don't think Freddie's going to make the All-Star team, but you can start making a case to start strongly considering this kid for the Rookie of the Year in the National League. We've raved all year long about what he's done defensively for the club at first base. He's put up some very impressive offensive numbers among first-year players in the league, too.
Really good adjustments too. When things start going a little rough, he works on it, figures it out, and gets back to in his groove. There are his rankings in the all-important offensive categories. He's 3rd in batting average too, coming in.
And the hardest part is you look at the numbers, and that's how everybody compares player A to player B. When you watch a player play every day like we do in Freeman, there's really no statistical measurement as to the number of runs he saved.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the advantage you have of watching him play every day. That one's hit a mile toward left. And reaching up is Rivera to make the catch for the second out.
Well, he's got some pop that way, make no mistake about it, but 2nd in total bases, 2nd in multi-hit games, has the longest hitting streak of any rookie, 2nd in extra base hits.
And how many, again, it's impossible to know for sure, but how many runs and errors has he prevented with that good defense?
23.
That's you're sticking to it.
I don't know. You just asked. I thought I'd give you a number.
So I'll shut up and move on.
No,
okay,
it'd just make you happy.
Okay, thank you. Here's Ugla. Strike one to Dan. Maybe again, we've said this a lot, so I don't want to belabor the point, but maybe one of those little turning points you look for Dan. That homer came against a left-handed pitcher. First one of those he's had this year.
Here's the thing on that for me. When he moved to the second spot in Houston and started hitting the ball a little bit to right center, had a base hit to right, then all of a sudden he hit a couple of homers in the Crawford boxes. And here we go again. It's not so much that he hit a homer. Okay, now here he goes. Now he's going to take off. I'd rather see a 3-hit night with 2 hits to right center and 1 to left center, and then say, you know what? Now I think he's back on the beam.
Well, the Braves are back. A 5-1 ball game here at Turner Field. And fans sign up today for the 2012 Braves Fantasy Camp. You'll enjoy a week of baseball at Disney's Wide World of Sports with Braves legends Steve Avery, Javi Lopez, Sid Bream, Otis Nixon, Marquise Grissom, ding-a-ling, Pete Smith, Greg Olson, and a whole lot more. Register today at Braves.com/fantasycamp or call 404-614-1526. AT&T call to the pen features Craig Kimbrell.
Not a safe situation, but maybe Freddie was thinking both with Venners and Kimbrell with a day off tomorrow. Could still use him, and they'd get the day off tomorrow. How about this? His strikeouts on average per 9 innings pitched has gone up each month. You'd kind of figure that either the opponents would make some adjustments or he might start getting a little fatigued, but not Craig. His are going up.
He has tremendous stuff. We've seen glimpses of that throughout his first full season as the Braves' main 9th inning guy. Where would you rank his stuff the other night?
At the top. I'm not sure that he's had better stuff than he had in the first game of this series. Came in and struck out the side. Got his 20th save. 2 swinging strikeouts, 1 called. 3rd strike on Batista. It was very impressive.
More saves than any other National League rookie before the break for Craig Kimbrell. Gets Aaron Hill to sky one to straightaway center. The all-time rookie saves leader before the All-Star break is the Red Sox Jonathan Papelbon. He had 26 back in 2006. He's got an outside shot at that. The Braves, play real good baseball.
He actually has no control over that. He's got to depend on his teammates, his offense, to put the team in a position where he can come in and close out games.
But the man directly in front of him is former Brave farmhand Neftali Feliz of the Rangers, who last year had 23 saves before the break. Encarnacion 0 for 1. Batted for the first time in the 7th inning. And now he's down to his last strike.
Great to close this out, make it a 4-game winning streak before you get on a plane ride that goes all the way to the coast. Day off tomorrow puts everybody in a good mood.
Always good to win on travel day.
And again, the Blue Jays have lost 8 out of 12, and they're just in the middle of their road trip. They have a day off tomorrow, and then that'll be in St. Louis. And 3 games with the Cardinals, and then a stop at Detroit on the way home to play a makeup game.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Last time the Braves swept Toronto in 3 games was May of 2009. Pop fly. Ugla drifting out. Hayward comes in. 1 more to get. And John McDonald will bat the 9th.
Weekday attendance here for this interleague series has been good too. Right at 23,000 on Monday, almost 27,000 last night, 23 today.
And they've been treated to 3 well-pitched games and some home runs from the Braves offense. Now Toronto down to its final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases clear for Kimbrel in the 9th. And a looping fly ball caught by Dan Ugla. And that's your ball game. The Braves sweep away Toronto. End up with a winning homestand, and today's final score: Atlanta 5, Toronto 1. 3 more home runs hit by the Braves, who pick up a half game for the moment in the standings in the National League East, with the Phillies on top of the pile. Beachy started it, Kimbrel finished it. Braves win by 4, and we'll have more from Turner Field right after this.